Welcome to part one of the Dealizer webinar series on how to enter and use our Dealizer income property analysis tool. In part one, we're going to go through how to enter information in and focusing on income and expenses. So let's get right into it. The first thing you'll notice about the Dealizer is that it's a Microsoft Excel template. So you'll need to have Excel loaded on your computer in order to run the Dealizer. When you get the Dealizer pulled up, this is what you'll see, and we can start right in. One thing to note, we're using the unit-based Dealizer right now, but the inputs are coded the same whether you're dealing with the square foot, the unit base, or the single family. So that information should translate. Best place to start is at the top. You can put in your name, whoever your name of your organization. We're going to start with my name and date prepared 12/15/08. The property, we're going to call that the Acme Apartments. And let's say they're asking $8 million for that. Notice that the name jumps up once you enter a name here. It jumps up, and that will appear on the top of every page of the Dealizer. The place to start, of course, is to click here. Just some quick reminders. Any cell with a red triangle in the upper right-hand corner has a note in it that you can read just by rolling your cursor over that note. The other thing is to make entry and operation as quick as possible and easy to do in the Dealizer. We've coded the cells. The tan cells are for entering current information, and the blue cells are for entering pro forma information, and they'll have brown text once you've entered numbers in there. All the other cells are protected to make sure none of the formulas get changed around accidentally, and the yellow highlighted cells are where your analysis numbers will show up, and we'll get to those in part 3 of our series. If you need more help or get updates or to purchase the square foot and single family Dealizers, go to our webpage www.ashworthpartners.com. Click on the Deal Analysis Tools tab, and that will bring you to a page where all that information is. On that page is also a chat box, and so that if I'm online while you're working in the Dealizer, you have a question or you need a little help with something, you can just text right to me from our website. If not, you can go to ashworthpartners.lefora, Lefora.com, and that's where you can view other how-to webinars in this series, find or share tips and techniques, or even make suggestions on how to improve the Dealizer. So we invite you to join the community there, and please go over there and log in, and there'll be plenty of help for you. So once again, current income, tan cells, pro forma input is pro forma in the light blue. First thing to do is enter your income information. We start with the unit mix table. A quick note here, you can enter up to 6 unit types on the front page. If you have more than 6, this note will remind you not to enter any information in this bottom line, because that's where the consolidation from page 3 will show up. So that if you have more than 6 unit types, you drop down and enter them in here. You can have a total of up to 58 different unit types or individual units. And the entry down here is just the same at the top, and like I said, it'll be consolidated up on that bottom line in the first section of page 1. Note here once again, our name came down here. once again, up here, the unit mix description is actually 2 columns wide. You can, if they have a unit type, you can type that in. If you just want to put the bedrooms and bathrooms, which is typically what I do, there's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Let's say there's 10 of those. They're 450 square feet. The current rent, let's say they're getting 500, and pro forma, we think market-wise they ought to be able to get 600. Now you can't see me doing that, but I'm hitting the tab key in between these, and it just kind of circulates you left to right and then drops down as you hit the entry cells. You can also use your up and down arrow, or of course you can move around and click on any cell with the mouse. So let's just carry on B2 or B3. It's a 2-1. Let's say there's 20. They're 500 square feet. They're getting $600, and we think we ought to be able to get $650 for those. So let's say C4 is a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. There is let's say 30 of those, and they're 600 square feet. They're getting 700, and we think they ought to be able to rent for $800. So that quickly we've entered that information in. Down here we have your totals: 60 units, 32,500 rentable square feet, your current potential rent, your your pro forma potential rent monthly, and then that drops down into your scheduled rental income already. Once again, a reminder here that if you have more than 6 unit types, enter the first 5 on this table, leave this line blank, and go down to page 3. So now you were looking for tan areas or blue areas with the brown writing, so we know where to enter our stuff. Vacancy. On the Dealizer, we have 1 entry for physical, economic vacancy as well as credit loss, and you just enter a number in and move over to the pro forma number, and we're going to say we think we can get 10% vacancy. Other income, let's say we're getting 35,000, and we believe that if we get this thing shaped up and repositioned properly, we can get 45,000. Now there you have it. Income numbers are in. We've got our gross operating income already. All we need to do is put in some expense numbers, and let's say property taxes are $12,000 a year, and property insurance is $6,000, and repairs and maintenance are $50,000. You can see that quickly as I'm going down here that you click on the cell, enter the number. The pro forma number default is the current number, and you can change that one of 2 ways. Either click on there and type a number in. Let's say we're going to go argue with the assessor, and we're going to get that down to 10,000. The other way is to enter a percent of pro forma GOI. For instance, we typically use 10% GOI for our maintenance and repairs, so let's enter that. You just carry that down the page. Most of the common expense items are already entered in there. You just click in the cell, enter the number. You do have room to add in other costs that aren't already broken out in here: utilities, administrative costs, and a couple of miscellaneous costs. It all gets totaled at the bottom. So your total expenses currently, your expense ratio on your current numbers, and your net operating income. Same over here in pro forma. Don't forget to save this somewhere where it makes sense with a good name, and we'll see you in part 2.